free bagel. And he said, I don't want to wait in line. And I was like, free bagel.
Let me ask you a question. If I offered you $30 million for the company, would you take it?
Get a free bagel with cream cheese.
Oh,
Look, there's a line there.
Yeah.
It wasn't your typical everything bagel because there was more everything topping, and that really made it special. Bagel.
Hi. So why physical therapy bagel? So I had a dream, and it started around 2015. So that's about 8 years ago. I was the physical therapist in charge of cardiac rehab. I was working closely with a very wonderful nurse. Her name is Jennifer. Cardiac rehab, you also are working with a doctor. So it's a full-on medical team. The patients have history of heart conditions. So they do about like 36 visits of exercises monitored closely by a PT nurse and a doctor. So we were working with this very humble doctor. At that time, I was talking to Jen and I was like, oh my God, that doctor is just so nice. And I came to find out that this doctor is a very accomplished doctor. Meanwhile, he was so humble. So it truly inspired me, and it made me realize that the most successful professionals are the ones who are willing to mentor you and support you. I could see the difference between professionals who are just starting out, who wants everything for themselves. But I feel like with growth and accomplishments, they tend to be a very good asset for the workplace, as they would want to mentor you, listen, guide you. All you have to do is ask for it. This specific physician was into research. And at that time, he showed me a very interesting research. And he said, Christine, come here. Let me show you this research. And I think this is going to interest you. It was about exercise or physical therapy. So he said, look at this research. This concluded that sitting is the new smoking. And I was like, my mind was blown, because I find a lot of people are sitting, or, even at work, there's a chunk of time that we'd sit. It could be we're doing documentation, or for whatever reasons, or let's say you're working from home. That time, I just wanted to spread the word, and I wanted to spread it to my families first and foremost, and to my friends. I just wanted to let them know that we need to get moving, that we need to change our habits. And then a few sessions later, he showed me a new research, and it was about how there's only one thing that can regenerate the brain. It's not crossword puzzles, doing math puzzles, or reading. Those are good. Those are going to help with neuroplasticity, increase the connections in your brain and really utilize your brain power. However, there's only one thing that can grow brain cells, and guess what it is? It is exercise. And at the conclusion of that research, the researchers themselves brought themselves treadmill and they started working out. Again, I really felt that urge to just spread the word, because these are mind-blowing studies, and it has something to do with what I promote as a doctor of physical therapy, which is exercise, physical activity, and just overall well-being and wellness. So that was in 2016, 2015, 2014 even. Those were the early years. And then this dream started to come back again in the recent months. I'm finally here. I'm so excited. This channel is dedicated to teaching you everything that I know and I've learned that is backed by science. Working in a physical therapy world, we're not just recommending all these patients this exercise, but also we're looking at the full picture, what's going to make them successful in this wellness journey. Again, so why physical therapy bagel? So this is interesting. So I was listening to this very good motivational speaker. Name is Simon Sinek. So he was talking about bagels.
So a friend of mine and I, we went for a run in Central Park. The Roadrunners organization, on the weekends, they host races. And it's very common at the end of the race, they'll have a sponsor who will give away something, apples or bagels or something. And on this particular day, when we got to the end of the run, there were some free bagels. And they had picnic tables set up. On the table were boxes of bagels. And on the other side was a long line of runners waiting to get their free bagel. So I said to my friend, let's get a bagel. And he looked at me and said, the line's too long. And I said, free bagel. And he said, I don't want to wait in line. And I was like, free bagel. And he says, nah, it's too long. And that's when I realized that there's two ways to see the world.
Some people just looks at the obstacle instead of looking at the goal. And then the obstacle stops them from doing what they are passionate about or what they're supposed to do. So this story was very inspiring. And that's the first one that made me light up the bulb, the word bagel. Around this time, I worked in this very busy physical therapy place, and I've been so blessed to work with wonderful therapists. In this specific place, I was working with really young, new grads, very talented, very skilled, very motivated to grow. So it was good to be around this therapist. So every now and then there would be a patient who would bring fresh bagels with cream cheese or butter. And my coworkers, mind you, they're young and athletic and they lift weights. They go to the gym regularly. They're practicing healthy habits. But when it comes to free bagels, you could see them swarm over that table of free, fresh bagels, and they would have it. What I'm trying to say is that in the journey for wellness, it's not a strict linear path to whatever goal your heart desires. It's also a little bit of indulgence in between. You gotta live a little. And I think that's the fun of it. Having the discipline to work towards that goal over time, but also having fun along the way. And that's what I wanted to show also in this channel, is that the journey to wellness, well-being, to physical activity and exercise and personal development, it's going to be a journey. There's going to be slip-ups. And I wanted to share it with you, and I want everybody to embrace it. As just in the recent years, this is what I'm realizing. It's not a failure if you're not going to the right direction at the time frame that you want. It's going to be a process. This channel is devoted to providing wellness, well-being, physical activity tips, longevity tips, one bite at a time, one journey at a time, one tip at a time. And over time, our brain is just the light bulb will just turn on, and you'll know you're in the right path. Because everything at the end of the day is mindset. You can be going to a physical therapy place. I'm here to fix my back. However, all these other things is happening in your life because we have all other aspects. We have layers in our life, just like Shrek said.
Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers.
We have family responsibilities. We have work responsibilities with our patients, responsibilities to our friends. We have a lot of roles in our lives, which is exciting, which is good, and that's what makes life fun. We should see it as fun rather than a stressor. But sometimes it can come as overwhelming, and that is natural. But life is good. I wanted to scale back, and all this knowledge, all these health hacks, all these personal hacks into longevity and wellness and well-being are all going to be right here. Just a click of the switch, the light bulb will turn on, and you know you're in that journey. And it's okay to fail every now and then. We just gotta keep our eyes on the goal. Like Simon Sinek said, we gotta keep our eye on the bagel and not on the obstacle. And hence came the birth of Physical Therapy Bagel. And I hope you support my channel. Share my channel to others who may need it. Your family members, your friends. Feel free to write down any comments. If there's any feature, if there's any stories that you want me to, feel free to write down in the comment if there's any topics you want me to tackle on, or just to say hi or anything at all. Any feedback is more than welcome. Enjoy and have a great journey into wellness and longevity. One bite at a time.